Hey there, fellow founders. Are you looking to unlock the secrets behind rapid business growth? Join my vibrant meetup group where we dive into masterclasses on game-changing strategies every single month. We've tackled topics like building a lean marketing engine, crafting killer lead magnets, and leveraging gateway offers to sell high-ticket offers. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next one. Come share your experiences, learn from the best, and let's grow together. Sign up and be part of the next masterclass by going to events.sarahnoelblock.com. That's events.sarahnoelblock.com. Welcome to Tiny Marketing. This is Sarah Noel Block, and this is a podcast that helps B2B service businesses do more with less. Learn lean, actionable, organic marketing strategies you can implement today. No fluff, just powerful growth tactics that work. Ready to scale smarter? Hit that subscribe button and start growing your business with Tiny Marketing. Hello, I am Sarah Noel Block, and this is Tiny Marketing. Today is going to be a no video podcast because my hair is still wet. I just got out of the shower. And I'm still showing up though, so you're welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about how gateway offers shorten your sales cycle and skyrocket your conversions. Now, this topic is top of mind for me right now because if you listen to episode 138, I talked about a sales strategy that I built for a client and how you can apply it to your own indie consultancy. That same person that I built that strategy for, she came back to me last week and told me that she sold 7 gateway offers in 1 week and they were converting like crazy. So that made me think I need to really revisit this. So let's talk about why gateway offers shorten your sales cycles and help you close more sales way faster. Have you ever had a prospect say, "We love what you do, but we're not ready yet"? That's the exact moment a gateway offer changes everything. A gateway offer is a low-cost, high-value offer, usually less than $1,000, that allows you to take the pieces that you would normally do during a discovery call and the onboarding of your, high-ticket execution, and it condenses it into one single project that you would do in a little capsule of time, mine are 2 weeks. And it gives them a roadmap or a blueprint on how to solve their immediate problem that they're coming to you for. So today I'm going to break down why gateway offers are the single most powerful way to speed up your sales cycle and increase conversions without being pushy or salesy. Because you wouldn't know this by the amount of times that I talk about sales, but I hate selling. I hate it. So I have built my sales system around being able, not having to sell, basically. I built my sales system around building relationships, being useful to people, and building in tiny yeses that get people to the bigger yes of the execution. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to design the offer that builds trust fast, gets your foot in the door, and makes saying yes to a bigger project almost automatic. I like to call it, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? If your gateway offer is a why not price, saying yes to the execution of the bigger project is a why wouldn't I offer. So for anybody who's relatively new here, let's just talk about what a gateway offer is. We'll do it really quickly because I talk about this all the time. Anybody who is a regular listener is like, okay, I'm going to hit that 15-second skip right now. But everyone else, stay put. A gateway offer is a low-risk, high-value entry point that helps you build it helps a potential client experience a quick win before they commit to your full service. So that's like the Cliff Notes version of it. But truly what it's doing is it's taking all of that discovery and onboarding work that you would do during your free discovery call, your proposal, the first like 6 to 8 weeks of your high ticket project, and condenses it into a 2-week container where you're solving that problem. You're getting their yes, their confirmation that this is what I want to do moving forward with the project before you move into the high ticket offer. So everything else runs more smoothly also. So that's what a gateway offer is. Now let's contrast that with what a typical sales process looks like for a service provider or a solo consultant. Generally, I'll say that most service providers have a 30-minute discovery call, which is free, where they learn a little bit about the business, they're asking a few questions, and then they walk away and they build out a proposal. This can take, I know some people where it takes up to 8 hours to build out the proposal. And you're doing all of this on 30 minutes of information, by the way. Okay, so you have that 30-minute discovery call, you build out a thorough proposal, and then if they move forward with execution, usually the first like 6 to 8 weeks is more of like an on-ramp period where you're trying to figure out what works for them and get on the same page before you start building momentum and things get a little bit easier. So for you, that looks like probably 2 days of free work between the discovery call, any research that you have to do, and building out the proposal. That's 2 days of free work that might not even convert. On their end, they're paying a high ticket retainer, let's say $8,000, $10,000 for you to figure out what is actually going to work. What is the real solution? So they end up paying $20,000 for you to figure it out. Where a gateway offer, and well, let's just pause there for a second, that builds some tension in your relationship with your client. Obviously, there's some tension as you're trying to figure it out. Everybody does understand, hey, it takes time to build momentum. But when you use that particular process for selling, it takes longer to build that momentum. Okay, so end of that little rant. Now, but a gateway offer, it gives them something like a roadmap or an audit or a strategy that they can say yes to right away because it's a why not price. And it also builds out the rapport with the client because you are talking to all stakeholders during it. It's generally done in a 3-part process where it's a paid offer, where you're interviewing all of the stakeholders in the company. You walk away, you build out that strategy, that audit, that roadmap, whatever yours particular one looks like. Then you do a review session, which is usually around 30 minutes, where you go through what the roadmap looks like, what would help them, what does action look like for solving the problem that they have. And that is a hell of a lot easier to say yes to than saying, okay, I'm going to commit to 6 months of working with you, $10,000 a month retainer. So $60,000 for I really am crossing my fingers that they know what they're doing. So this proves that you know what you're doing. It builds the rapport with them ahead of time. And you're getting paid to do that before moving into execution. By the time you move into execution, you have already gotten their buy-in on your solution. So you are eliminating that 6 to 8 weeks of stumbling that you generally have. And here's why this one shift can completely change how fast you close deals. It's the trust factor. Okay, so I'm going to get into 5 reasons gateway offers reduce the sales cycle. 1, you build trust with the whole team before anyone says yes to a high ticket offer. All right, let's talk a little bit about it. In most B2B sales, it's not one person saying yes. We've all experienced this. It's a B2B community over here. It's a committee. We know that. There's a bunch of people who have to say yes to it. So a gateway offer, it lets you demonstrate your value to everyone who has to say yes right off the bat, not just the first contact. And it's with hardly any risk. For most B2Bs, $995 is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. They're willing to risk $1,000 to find a solution to the problem. And you're building trust along the way. Everybody who needs to say yes is in that stakeholder interview right at the beginning. You're taking their insights. They feel heard. You're building a rapport with them. That's amazing. You walk away, you build the strategy using their insights. And then you come back together for the review call with the same group of people, and they're giving you their questions, their objections, what their thoughts are on the solution, and you're able to answer those objections right on the spot to the direct stakeholder. So you're no longer looking at playing telephone with a direct contact who's trying to sell you internally, because everybody is right there with you. Number 2, you give them a quick win right away. You're giving them a blueprint or a roadmap. So people buy with more confidence. They see a tangible plan. They feel heard. Their insights are taken into consideration. And then they stop wondering, can you really help us? And they start thinking, when can we start? Because you've already proven that you know what you're doing, and you've already gotten their yes, their confirmation. Because if the strategy or the audit or whatever that you built in that second step of the gateway offer didn't match their expectations, you can address that and make those shifts on the review call so you can get them to the yes, to the confirmation that this is a solution they want to move forward with before ever moving forward on the high ticket offer. Number 3, you address objections on the spot in the review session. So the review call is not directly a sales call. It's a clarity session. And when they raise concerns, let's say, so let me back up one second. You want to give them the strategy 24 hours before the review call so they can review it and come up with their questions already before the review call. Okay, now we'll go back to the review call. So the review call is when those questions happen. They've already looked at it and they've had time to digest it. And when they come up with those concerns or those questions, you can address them right on the spot. You can handle them naturally, not defensively. You can make tweaks to the strategy as you're on that call if they bring something up that is a legitimate concern, like, well, we wouldn't be able to keep that going internally because of X. Okay, let's make this switch. So you can make those moves right on the call so you can get them to a yes. That's also the time where they'll come up with any objections. So this is the reason that I don't think this will work. You can answer that on the spot. And if no objections come up, if they're pretty quiet the whole time, what you'll want to do is pull those objections out of them. Get to the part where you're talking about, okay, this is what moving forward looks like. This is how we would execute it if you wanted to move forward with us. Ask them, what are the pros and cons that you see from this moving forward section? And that will draw out the objections if they're being quiet. Number 4, you can connect their words to the solution. I like to use exact quotes from the transcript from the interview and pull that in so they can see, like, this was the challenge that you talked about, and this is the solution, this is why. Connect the dots for them. You've listened to them deeply during the gateway offer interview, and then you can mirror their exact language when presenting your full offer. Number 5, when you give them a why not reason to move forward. So at this point, they've seen your process. They've gotten to know you. They trust you. They have a plan. You have given them a plan. And the next step feels obvious. Saying no feels harder than saying yes, because they could look at your plan and say, we can do this internally. And maybe they will, and that's awesome for them. But 90% of the time, they will look at the plan and they'll say, okay, I'm ready to move forward. What does execution look like? And they're going to choose. So the pushback that I often get is, what if I do this strategy? They've only paid $1,000 for it. It's worth so much more. And then they get someone else to execute it. They shop it around. That's the biggest objection that I get about gateway offers. And the truth is, they don't. So that could be a fear of you or a fear for you. However, when you built the strategy and you've taken the time to get to know the stakeholders inside of the company, they're going to be at a point where they're going to be like, why wouldn't I have you do the X? A way to get out of the problem. Why would I shop around? So that might be a fear for you. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe you will come across someone who shops it around and get someone else to do it for cheaper. Like they go to Fiverr, Upwork, or whatever to look for someone to do this for them. But they're probably a red flag client that would have been awful to work with anyway. But two, that's not going to happen most of the time. I have never had someone take my strategy and shop it around. They either work with me or they have their internal team do it. That has been my experience. So I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying that it's possible, but they probably would be dicks to work with. Okay. So in the end, you're no longer chasing clients. They're inviting you to continue that relationship. And there are a ton of strategies. We go so much deeper than this in how to sell on that review session, how to move them to a yes on that review session. There are, creating limitations so it makes more sense for them to close within a certain amount of time. You can give them bonuses for closing within a certain amount of time. And we can get into all of that. So gateway offers work because they build trust, deliver a win, handle objections, connect language to solution, their language to the solution, and remove risk. Now, if you're ready to design your own gateway offer that opens doors to high-ticket clients, I've built something for you. And it is only available for now until Thursday. And then carts are closing. It'll open, honestly, probably 6 months from now, it'll reopen. But that is the gateway offer mission. It's a hands-on guided experience to help you build your irresistible offer and cut your sales cycles in half. You'll go from wondering how to get clients to say yes to having a proven system that naturally leads them from small offer to your full service. You'll get a private one-to-one kickoff session with me, your own gateway offer AI assistant, bite-sized trainings, weekly micro tasks. So you have little steps that you need to complete over 4 weeks. Monday live sessions for accountability, and you can even book quick office hours, like one-to-one office hours on Mondays. Unlimited async consulting, so you can DM me anytime. Google Doc reviews. I will get into your Google Doc, make revisions, make comments. And a private one-to-one wrap-up to lock it all in, make sure that you are ready and that you have sold a few and that you understand how to upsell people to your full offer. If you're ready to stop pushing for clients and start creating momentum with your dream clients, join me in the Gateway Offer Mission. I'll help you build the offer that changes everything. So the link for that is in the show notes. The cart is only open until Thursday. Hold on, let me look at the calendar if you're listening to this late. So it is only open until October 30th, and then the cart is closing. It expires then. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode. If this sparked an idea for you, send me a message on LinkedIn. I'm there. You love all things tiny marketing. Head down to the show notes page and sign up for the wait list to join the Tiny Marketing Club, where you get to work one-on-one with me with trainings, feedback, and pop-up coaching that will help you scale your marketing as a B2B service business. So I'll see you over in the club.